Good morning. This is Professor Anderson with a little bit of feedback for your writing assignment number 4, the rough draft. So I'll share with you here, sorry to scroll so quickly. I've pulled up the parameters. This is the PDF for the paper. It has all the components, the evening shades and the L'Amour rough draft. And then I've also pulled up, I'm not sure if you had a chance to take a look at this screencast that I made that shared with you how to use this free website to produce graphs and just graphics in a host of ways. And I just wanted to pull that up to share with you. So if I take a look, you have the components. We just have them in a little bit of a different order. Let me share with you, or a little bit of a, you have some things filled in and populated in an area that should go in another place. So this initial letter to transmittal, letter to a decision maker is very brief. This is the evening shades example. Here is the L'Amour report example. Do you notice it just says, here's the report, this is what's in it, thank you very much. Here's the report, this is what it does, thank you very much. So what your letter to transmittal needs to say is, enclosed, please find the report on the drug awareness programs within Berkeley County elementary schools. The report looks at the use and accountability, or the use and prevalence of drug awareness programs in elementary schools, and includes parent surveys or understandings, whatever. Thank you in advance for your time and consideration. What you've done is used your memo from writing assignment number 3, and that is important information. That's really what your executive summary is. So this letter of transmittal is just a quick cover page to share briefly what's included inside of the report. So you want to add that in there. And then you want to move to, let me share with you here, this is the evening shade. So here comes the cover page, here comes the table of contents, and then the executive summary. If you'll notice, the executive summary is really the same information. I'll pull this up in the L'Amour also. Excuse me, I need to scroll down. Here, executive summary. Here's the problem, here's what it can provide. That's what it is. Here's a summary of the problem, why it needs to be investigated, what secondary research has been done, what benefits will result. So you want to change this because this is from your memo to your writing assignment number 3, that memo, and that is asking for permission. And so then some recommendations and conclusions. And here in your executive summary, what you want to make sure that you do is, or using this information, plug it into your executive summary here. Actually, that's what would work here best. And then your table of contents. Let's scroll down. Introduction, purpose of the study. Perfect. The methods, primary and secondary. Now, what I always recommend is, and I know the examples show it in this format because prime means first, secondary means second. But the reality is, when you deliver a report, you need to make sure that you're sharing with your decision makers the process you used. And the process is you did secondary research first, and then that guided you to understand where your primary research needed to focus. So I flip these two. I always put the secondary research first and then the primary, and then make sure that you show the results, because see, you have your secondary research results first and then your primary research. It's this section right here that I want to share with you. I think it would be very impactful for you to use one of these graphs, bar, pie chart, whatever you want to use to show this data. So right here, you just have paragraph form it's very impactful to translate that into an image, into a graph that shares with your reader, especially your decision maker. It's a quick visual to really highlight the disparity that your report is trying to render or trying to share. So here in your recommendations, if you have 3 or 4 recommendations, list them in bullet points, because that also just highlights what is impactful and important. Your references look great. You do need to have 10. So you want to make sure you include that. Awesome for including this survey in here. And then once you use any kind of graphic, you need to give it a DOI or reference it, create an APA formatted reference for it, and include that in your references. And that is it. I look forward. This is a very juicy topic and quite timely. It's not easy to digest because it's unfortunate that we have to think about these and consider these things for our elementary students. But kudos to you for bravely taking on a very difficult topic in today's world. I look forward to reading your final report.